Hey, what's up, fam? Thank y'all for tuning in once again. As always, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bell. So every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. I told y'all before, and some people wondered why did I say it was Nathan Wade's fault? And I explained it to you. I know I probably still have some people who still kind of on the fence about what I was saying. But after watching today's testimony in these hearings with Fani Willis and Nathan Wade, yeah, I'm still gonna put the blame on him. Well, to an extent. It's, like I say, both of them takes two to tango, what have you. But as a man, from a man's perspective, I'm gonna put that part on him. So today, while I was driving between meetings at work, I listened to Fani Willis, her, I guess you call it testimony, on the stand. And she was on fire, man. She came out like she was pissed. And I know what it's like. I mean, I've been up there in the witness stand back in the day. And I know what it's like, only maybe one or two times. I know what it's like to, when people coming at you, you get defensive. But your lawyer tell you, stay calm, stay cool, here goes some water, be careful, and only answer what they ask, this and the third. Because you're not going to outthink the lawyers, you're not going to outsmart them, because that's what they do. I mean, that's their livelihood. That's what they do for a living. They ask questions and they bam, 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 and they bait you until you say exactly what they want you to, what they want to hear, and then they get you. So I can understand that, but her as a lawyer, you would think she would have handled that situation differently. She was emotional. She was a professional woman and she was emotional. But that's in a woman's nature. A lot of times women get upset when you say they're emotional. And it's one reason why a lot of times we believe they shouldn't be in positions of power or control, because if something happens and it doesn't go their way, they'll emotional take over, and they will just use that to dictate how they operate. And a lot of times, very rarely that an emotional response is going to benefit you in the short term or the long term. It may benefit you in the short term just by the way you feel, but in the long term, it's going to bite you in the butt. And I think today was a prime example, because she came out there, like I said, the lawyers, they came at her. She was she was answering questions. It's funny because they asked her a specific question. She didn't want to answer that specific question. But then when she did try to answer the specific question, she tried to answer it her way and not even really answering the question. It was many times where there was a yes and no answer, and she wanted to go into detail. But then when they asked for details of certain questions, she didn't want to answer. She got defensive. Matter of fact, she picked up some paper. She called the prosecutors liars while she was on the stand, holding up a stack of papers and threw them down. And everybody's like, "What the heck are you talking about?" Because all she's doing is asking questions. She's talking about what you got on this paper here. Ain't nobody talking about the paper. Nobody in the world knew. You understand what I'm saying? Nobody knew. She kept bringing up stuff that nobody knew. She was trying to spin the narrative that she's still a black woman and she's a victim, with these racist people trying to attack her and this black man. But when one set of questions came about with the guy, the older white man one of them, because a bunch of them that came up. There was one set of questions that her answer didn't make sense, and it actually made her look evil than the son of a gun. It's when the guy asked her, did she come and have any contact with Nathan Wade? I believe it was in 2022. And that was all the question. Did you have any contact? She said minimal. He's like, well, did you have contact? And she like, let me be perfectly clear from what y'all are trying to insinuate. No, because first she brought the word sex. And he was like, I didn't ask you about sex. You know, that's about like romantic relationship. It could be kissing, hugging, walking, holding hands, whatever the case, you know, but she wanted to bring up sex. And then she would also say that, well, when they asked her when did the relationship break up, she was like, well, you know, if you had, from his perspective, we broke up on this date. But on my perspective, we broke up on this date, on another date. And it's like, what the heck are you talking about? She said, well, you know, men, they see things differently than we see them. You know, he may have thought we broke up in like July, but I thought it was official when we had this hard talk in like August. And I'm like, and everybody is like tripping on these answers. Like what is she saying? She's not answering the question. And the judge, for some reason, gave her a lot of leeway, maybe because she is like what you call it, the DA or what have you in Fulton County. But he kind of let her, you know, gave her a lot of rope, a lot of leeway in what she answered and how she answered. But like I said, one question when he was asking her, when he asked her about did she have any contact with Mr. Wade in 2022, she bust out and said that yes, but you got to understand he was going through something. He had a form of cancer, and I'm not going to sit here and emasculate a black man. And the lawyer was like, what? Like, what are you talking about? You done brought race in it, you done brought gender into it, and then you talking about that this man had a form of cancer. So we as men put two and two together, and somehow it came up for that this heifer, through this brother, pretty much put his business out there saying that he had cancer. So which means she's insinuating that he couldn't perform. Which is jacked up because it had nothing to do with the question. And it's even more jacked up because you put this man's medical history out there on Front Street. But then it's jacked up because you emasculated a black man when you said you wasn't going to do it. So I'm sitting here like, why is she doing this? Like, why would she do that brother like that? She puts, like I said, she putting stuff out there to make it seem like she's a victim. You know, that's a woman's thing. They'll go out there and they'll make sure that you feel sympathy for them for every little thing, even if they got nothing to do with them. Cause you said he the one who had, so he must have like some kind of prostate or testicular cancer or something to where he couldn't perform, or had some kind of cancer, or maybe taking some kind of drugs, which made it to where he couldn't perform. But you made it about you. In a question that had nothing to do with what the hell you was talking about in the first place. That's some foul stuff, man. That is foul. And I'm sitting here thinking like, why in the heck is she throwing his brother in the bus? Then I went back and watched some of the testimony that Nathan Wade gave. And there was this question that one of the lawyers asked, and I'm going to play it. I'm going to go old school, you know, because computer been tripping lately. But I'm going to play this. See if y'all can hear this. What he says about a cabin in Tennessee.
Tennessee, you booked a cabin in August 2023 and paid for a cabin in Tennessee. That's when you paid for it. I don't know when the trip was. Can you tell us about that?
Now he's sitting up here frowning like a little kid who smells his own poop. He's frowning hard like a cabin in 2023. What?
Where are we now?
I'm just asking from your memory. Do you remember paying for a cabin in August?
Guys, he asked about a particular transaction.
You can answer whether he remembers or not.
Mr. Wade, I'm not asking you to go through 1,000 pages of records. I'm asking if you remember paying for a cabin 6 months ago in Tennessee.
No.
Do you remember booking a cabin?
Lots of cabins.
Did you go to a cabin with Miss Willis ever?
Ever.
Ever.
No.
And that's where he messed up. That's where he messed up. So it took this man 15 seconds to first he act like he didn't know what they was talking about. Then he had to look at the paper, probably trying to think of some kind of lie. Now, mind you, Fani Willis is in the courtroom at this time, taking notes. And at this point, they didn't even know if she was going to testify today. So he's sitting there looking like a pure dummy, looking like a man who's about to get caught. And they asked him, do he recall that transaction? He has to put his glasses on, look at the paper, and it's like, dude, do you not recall? Now, I know he's a lawyer, so it's possible that he's thinking, look, if I don't look at the right transaction, because he probably don't remember how much it costs. I done been in cabins. I don't remember how much it costs. And this was maybe a couple years ago. I don't remember how much it costs to get them. I've been on cruises years ago. I've been on planes. Hell, I done been out of town, took trips out of town and back. Don't know how much this stuff costs, like seriously. So I don't recall. But if you pull up my bank statements or whatever and you show it to him, like, okay, fine. So as a lawyer, he's probably thinking, well, let me make sure that I'm looking at get the right numbers. Because if they say that this trip costs $1,900, and I say, yeah, I remember. And he said, then they're gonna bust out and say, you're lying because it wasn't $1,900, it was $1,700. Boom. You see, that's what lawyers do. So I'm gonna be the devil's advocate and say that's what he was doing. But he acting like he didn't know. He said, then he came and said, no, he didn't book that cabin. He said, you didn't book a cabin. He said, I booked a lot of cabins. Then they asked him, did you go to a cabin with Fani Willis ever? And he said, no. So now Fani Willis, so you either lying on the stand, which I'm not gonna say I doubt, because the way they try to phrase them questions is jacked up. Or you're telling the truth and you was out there clapping cakes with somebody else besides Fani while y'all were supposedly in a relationship, which is why she went on that, which I feel like she went on that stand and threw that man under the bus and threw shots at that guy every chance she got because she was emotionally pissed. She done got you a job. She done paid you all this money. You was married. You supposed to have got a divorce from your wife so the two of y'all could be together forever. And you done went and took some woman to a cabin. So you try to be hard. I said, man, I go to a bunch of cabins. So now that's that, come on, fellas, when do something like that, that's when you call. So now it's like you fight. Now you fight or flight. So now you're fighting. Oh yeah, I go to plenty of cabin. You know me, I'm Nathan Wade. You know what I'm saying? Play extraordinaire. But then they asked you, did you go to cabin with Fani Willis? And then you had to sit there and think about it for a long time. So the question is, Brother Wade, how many women have you been to cabins with, man? And when did you go? And what did you go when you and Fani? Is that why y'all broke up? Because she found out you was philandering out there with other women? Could that be the issue? Man, your world is crumbling and crashing down before you know it. Is that why you had cancer? Because you stressing out. Can't eat, can't sleep, can't take no medication, and that stress is destroying your body. Is that what? Man, look at her. Man, look at her. This is like sands of an hourglass. So are the days of our lives. And then you got this woman who came on earlier. I didn't watch her testimony. I'll probably watch it here in a second. But she said, yeah, she knew that they was clapping cakes like years ago, since at least 2019. And she got there and told that this morning. So it is what it is. And, you know, Fani would have said everybody's lying and whatever the case may be. I think that if whatever they put down, she can call it a lie because it may not be written right, maybe worded wrong, and they may have to come back and do something different. I don't know. But this is going to be an interesting case. But yeah, Nathan Wade, like I said in the previous video, you knew that when she asked you to be the DA or a special prosecutor, and the dude don't seem like it too bright. Like I said, I mean, come on, man, come on. She got more sense than he do. He trying to I don't know if he's trying to protect himself or protect this woman. Oh, but hell, he's still under divorce proceeding. I think so. Sure, he probably trying. He can't put too much of his business out there in the first place. And then, then finally Willis talking about she carry around all this cash. Her daddy told her you need to have 6 months of cash. Now, she say her dad is old school. And he said he would tell her that a woman should have 6 months of cash in the house at all times. The question that was not asked is, Miss Willis, have you ever had 6 months of cash in your house at one time? Because she opened the doors for that. Now, Nathan Wade, they asked him about some money. He was like, I don't think that'd be safe. I want to put that out there that tell people that I keep cash in the house. He was like, I don't care. Answer the question. Fani Willis was like, yeah, I keep cash in the house, but it could be 500, it could be 1,500, it could be 15,000. Who knows? Okay, for somebody who want to break in your house and want to take who poor and hungry, it don't matter if it's 500, 1,500, 15,000. They kick your door and they want the money. You can put your business out there. But the question is, have you had $15,000 ain't 6 months of living for not a lawyer, not for me. So for people that's professional, $15,000 sitting in a safe in the house, it's not 6 months of expenses. So you talking tens of thousands, maybe even $100,000 that you would need at least, at least 50, 75, 100,000 that you need in a safe at all times. If you listen to, now you said that your daddy told you that, but you didn't say that you actually follow his rules. Cause come on, let's be honest. You younger, new day, nobody carries around cash like that except, drug dealers and probably Hispanic or day laborers who need lawyers. Everybody gonna have a check. Everybody gonna write you a check or cash app you or a cashier's check or whatever. You probably take cashier's check and a regular check. It's probably how you take most of your payments. People come in cash, that's good, but you still got to, whatever money you got documented. So that's where the forensics and analyst comes in when it comes to your money. So he also said that what it was is he bought trips with his card, but supposedly Fani Willis paid him back with the card, with cash. No card, no check, no ATM transactions, no nothing. He didn't even deposit the money back in his account. So it's just weird. Because if it's thousands of dollars, why you want to put it back in your account so you can pay your card off? Make it make sense. So I'll pay it later. I just put that in my cash stash. I mean, maybe, but y'all dating. If y'all in a relationship, y'all doing stuff that roommates do. Y'all ain't doing stuff that people in a relationship are doing when it comes to money. But yeah, he said he didn't put the money back in the bank. It's a lot. I mean, if y'all got a chance, you go to I'm looking at the YouTube channel, go to Forbes Breaking News, and they got all the testimony there all day today. Yeah, I'm sure they're gonna have it tomorrow and however else long it lasts. But yeah, this case is gonna be something else, man. No matter what the outcome is legally, professionally, and personally, this is damaging to both of them. It's got to be. It has no choice unless Democrats run the run the Congress and run the political positions statewide and nationwide. and they can just slide them on in. But a lot of times when we do something, throw it off, they ain't got our back. So, like I said, this could be devastating to both of their careers. But anyway, tell me what you think about this story. Leave your comments below. Share it with the world. Let's keep following this. Try to bring updates as we can. With that being said, I leave you in peace, and I'll see you on the other side.